to hell is paid with good intentions. Well, you have good intentions to do right, but
you walking down the street now.
but
You walking down the street.
I don't know how to explain, but you just got to be grounded in that word. You know what I'm saying, to keep you from doing wrong. But in other, you want to do right. You have good intentions to do right, but you just keep, that flesh, just keep you from, doing what you really want to do. Because I mean, sometimes, just like me, be honest, when I used to drink, I used to love to drink, really, I enjoyed drinking. I mean, that was my thing. Every time I get,
Can I raise my hand on that?
and it was before, really recently before I came here. I mean, every time I get upset or angry or uh, just that was just my, what I'm saying, my little, what you call it, comfort, my comfort place, like, you know what I'm saying? And I go get a drink, and but the next day, well, I'm back to the same state, So anyway, I just had to make my mind up, this is not what I want to do. If I want to live for God, I got to be clean and pure. So I had to, just make my mind okay.
Okay, I got you.
So you know what I'm trying to say.
I got you.
You got to have made up mind.
Right. That's why I said the road to hell is paved with good intention. You intend to do good, but you don't do it. Instead of you go for the ladder. So all the good intentions that you have, now that's paving a road straight to hell.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get credit for those good intentions.
Mm-hmm. God looking for the God in you, not the nice in you. God looking for the God in you. See, people think they're gonna get to heaven by good deeds. I ain't seen nowhere in the Bible where it say I'm gonna get to heaven by good deeds. He said, "Be ye holy, for I am what?" So that ain't telling me that because I go out there and feed 20,000 people. You know what I'm saying? He said, "The day you hear my voice, heart not your." Okay. But if I'm going out here doing all these good deeds and then I get before God, well, Lord, I fed all them 20,000 people. I did all that right there. And I can remember something to the effect that we say, depart from me because I know you're not. You're working something different.
Like that movie we watched, all the good things that people had did.
All the good things.
Like, Lord, I did this, I did. Oh, I did, but still, you didn't make it in.
And the thing about it is, all those people had good intentions. Mm-hmm. If you're doing that, you got good intentions. But you still ain't stepping up to what God told you to do. 16 said, if then I do that which I would not, I consent to the law that is good. I mean, if I'm stepping up to the plate, because this is what God commanded me. This is what God is asking of me. I ain't got to worry about my good intentions going right. Because now I got something to fall back on. Because now I got something to keep me and pull me through to my good intentions, what I'm doing for the kingdom. You understand what I'm saying? Well, our thing is, can we talk about saved folk for a minute, y'all? We all grown folks in here, right? Well, a lot of saved folks said, well, Lord, how should I put this? I don't want to put this in no crazy way. Saved people. What's that? Well, I intended to do this, but this happened. But in the same breath, you will say, greater he that is in me, than he that is in the world. He is in the world. Okay, I don't get that. You telling me you said greater he that is in you, than he that is in the world. And you fell from your good intention back over to this crazy man. What was he? At the time that was going on. Did you hear he talking to you? Did you hear he speaking to you? We have been, I stopped talking because we say folks in here now. We got to talk amongst each other. And we got to know why we still fall short on a lot of things that we do. And in the same breath, we want to say, greater he that is in me. Is he sure he there? Is we sure he there? Go ahead.
I was just thinking, I am the problem. When we always put I in it, that's the problem right there. And I make choices without prayer. And sometimes we get excited, caught up in emotions, and it feels like, hey, this right, this gotta be God. We can't go by feelings, because, feelings get us in the wrong place, which is flesh.
You're right. Because you spoke some biblical thing. Proverbs 3:5 says, trust in the Lord with all thy heart and lean not to my what?
All understanding.
My feelings. Especially your feelings. My God. If we go and feel about everything going on, but we just messed up individuals, right? But that's why it said, lean not to thy own understanding. But in all thy ways, do what? So when we got good intentions, and okay, quote unquote, when we say we got good intentions, if we acknowledge God on these intentions, we'll see a lot of the good intentions we thought we had weren't so good. God, he'll let you know. No. Some things he'll let pass through, some things he ain't. But when you said, the key word you said, I know I heard the law, and I'm going to go do it anyway. That's what we're doing.
Lead to my own understanding.
There you go. Lead to my own understanding. If you said you believe in God and you acknowledge God and God is directing your path, then why are we still making the same stupid mistakes we always make? Are we listening? See, that's the main thing. The Bible says, he who has an ear, let him what?
Hear.
And when we ask God something, sometimes we don't like the answer he gives. And then we want to do what?
Do it all.
That's why he said a road with good intention. The road to hell is paved with good intention.
Sometimes we go to God asking, stuff, we want it right now.
Yeah.
But, God, even though God is right now, God, it might not be time for us to have what we're asking for right then. And see, we gotta, I made them using the right word. He's not testing us, but he's trying to see where we are in him. Because a lot of times we are here, but we're not in him. We want what he got, but we don't want him. If that makes sense.
Yes, a lot of people.
And that's why people like the idea of being married. They like the idea of being married. But they don't want the work that comes with the marriage. That's why the divorce rate is so high. Yeah, man, this my old lady, this my wife, this my wife. My son got married 3 months ago. Every time I talk to him, I married like what? Pop, I'm good, Pop. I'm good, Pop. I'm good, Pop. I went to that day he just gonna blow up. And I'm gonna have to put him to the side and talk to him. Because for the first 5 years, I went through hell. Feel like I catch something out on what I ain't. But for the first 5 years, you're gonna go through things. Anything that you want, you're gonna have to work at the key. If you wanna be in God, you're gonna have to work at the key. Salvation is free, but the maintenance cost. Then he said, work out your what? He said that, right? So it's the idea of being saved. That's why a lot of people in the church, that's why the church is the way it is today. Lord, I don't know why I'm going with it. That's why the church is like the other day. People got the idea of being saved but still want to keep their worldly intentions. You come to church now, church is like a nightclub sometimes. I'm sorry. Intended to do good, but they're falling right back in the same old mess. A lot of people don't come to. I told these man, I don't go to church. Half the cats I seen in the club the night before, the deacons and everybody else, they was in the club the night before. Now we in church on Sunday morning, they hollering, they saying, and they got good intentions. They got good intentions, but it's a road paved hell. Let your intentions be pure.
That's just like you see, a lot of people say, oh, I'll pray for you. I'm just praying for you. You don't have a relationship with God. You're not saved. You're living any kind of life, doing what you want to do. But I'm gonna pray for you. You can pray, but first you got to pray, Lord, forgive me, I repent, before you can go to the next step. But it seems like a lot of people that don't know the Lord, not saved, and walking after their flesh. Oh, I'm gonna pray for you. I see you're going through this. I'm gonna pray for you. And
So when we hear that, what is our job in that? When we know, what is our job in that? Give them the word. Anybody?
So pray,
Shit, pray.
pray demon.
When you see somebody in the world saying they pray, they do this, they do that, I do this and I do that, and knowing they live a sinful life, what is our job in that? She said, give them the word, she said, pray for
My thing is, as Jesus was coming right here at this moment, what would be your answer? See, a lot of times they want us to give them the answer.
them. I said, we can't give them an answer. What you say?
I said, we can't. You say, all right, why give them the answer? You give them the answer, it makes it so easy for them.
You know what Jesus did?
We do.
When people were like that right there,
Mhm.
he didn't only give them the word, he lived it.
Mhm. So,
He lived it. See, we got, like I said, we got good intentions to do the right thing, but you don't know who's watching you
That's right.
when you out there.
Absolutely.
You don't know who's watching you. You got to live it.
Prime example, the young man. He didn't know me, I ain't know him, he just rolled up on me. And the first thing he said, I want something to eat and I want, go to Hardee's. Then I said, well, you need to go see the man of God. He like, who is the man of God? I said, Apostle. He said, where is he? I said, he's inside. See, he wanted something. But he didn't want to stay to get what he really wanted. He just want what he want at the time.
And
Yeah.
the first step was when he came in here, he'll be back.
Yeah, oh, he come back. That was the idea to get him in.
He'll be back. He'll be back.
I think the thing we have to realize that even if the 5,000 and 3,000, Jesus fed them first.
That's right.
And we have to show an act of love. I think one of the key things when we talk about the good intentions, we really don't want to, and you say the idea of being married, we really don't want the relationship. We want the perks of it.
Yeah.
Because now the relationship gonna cost me something.
Yes.
And when we really look back now, and my question again, like I was telling you earlier, before we came out, the statement about relationship. Relationship gonna cost you to what? Give up something.
You up, son?
And if you ask the average person what you giving up, test run this room and see what they take. Ask what they're giving up.
What you giving up? For your marriage?
No,
Relationship?
tell you.
What have you given
Because
up?
remember, relationship gonna cost you what?
Yeah, relationship gonna cost you something. Cost me nothing like book.
My empty pockets.
Oh, wait, God, relationship. What, I mean, relationship.
A whole lot of ways that I used to have. During that time, I mean,
But here's the thing now, watch this though. And that's why I say we need to continue with it. We discover we've given up fleshly things,
Mhm.
but you said something earlier, but we still got some of them ways.
Yeah, you got some
The Bible says in 2 Corinthians 5:17, what?
Mhm.
If a man what? If a man be in.
Be in Christ.
So here's what we don't want to admit. There's no way for me to be in Christ, and here's what I say. Well, God's still working on me. I'm still processing. No. Once I get in, my fleshly self has to be gone. But we won't let that go because some of my ways I still want to keep. And my thing is, if I show it out in the streets and I still have the ability to show out why I say I'm in, then what have I really given up though? That's the thing we really got to take a look at. Relationship. What have I really given up? And the things I've given up benefited me. When you give up something, it benefits somebody else. There's the lies when we talk about what you're giving up. Because when people say what you give up, they talk about what they gave up concerning them. But when I gave up something, it benefited you.
Anybody? Okay. You know, back when we was in school and stuff, we got to TV, we work out. Sometimes workout wasn't good, but it was what? Good fun. Sometimes things that just rub us the wrong way, we don't want to deal with it. But nah, I would fall back over here and do this over because it's comfortable. Like you said, it was comfortable for you to go back and pick up a drink. Me, it was comfortable for me to go call the pilot man and go get me a shot. Because I feel like things that I knew. I ain't want to deal with all this over here because I ain't want to deal with all the work. This here, all I got to do is go over here and do it. But this over here, that's gonna benefit me and I got to work at it. Nah, I ain't got time for all that. It don't take all that. You ain't got to go through all that. These are things that we tell ourselves. And that closed-mindedness keep us from what God is really trying to bring out of us. That closed-mindedness. The thing is, the Bible says study to show thyself approved, right? Once you now, I ain't said read. Anybody can read, study, dictionary, strong according, everything. Study this word. Once you study this word and get this word within you, then you can combat the flesh. Combat the flesh. You got to worry about it because every time the flesh try to rise, the word in you will keep it at bay. But here's the thing. We tend to feed the fleshly man too much. And wonder why I'm catching hell in the spirit man. Because you're not feeding the flesh, you're not feeding the spirit. A lot of people say, well, I feed my spirit man all the time. But when you got things on your mind all the time and stressed out and all this right now, what you think that's doing to your spirit man? See, everybody look at flesh as being flesh, but other things, first come with the flesh is stress. What do you call it? My son can kill himself because of depression. All this stuff come with this. All this stuff come with flesh. The Bible says, those who keep their mind stayed on me, I'll keep you in perfect peace. So if I'm going through all this mess right here, what's causing me to go through this? Because you're holding on to stuff that you need to let it go a long time ago. That's the stuff of bargaining. That's the stuff that's killing. People don't understand it. When you say flesh, they think you just go out there and say, well, picking up a drink, dancing, hold money, doing this right there. But what about all the mental aspects of it? It goes both ways. You don't get one without them. When I'm dealing in my flesh, I got all this stuff going on. But God already told me to keep my mind in perfect peace if I keep my mind stayed on. Think about that for a minute. Why am I stressing so much? God, I keep so much. Every time you see somebody, ooh, I see you, Lord. What's wrong with you? Child, I tell you. All that stuff comes from the flesh of the stuff that you holding on to, that the Spirit done told you to let go a long time ago. Let it go. Because depression will kill you. Stress will kill you. What's the old saying? Pressure bust a pipe. Pressure will bust a pipe. We intend to do good, but we still hold on to things that'll kill us. Our intentions, good intentions. Lord, I'm going to come serve you, then I'm going to run from you, but I can't let this go quite yet. Got to hold on a little while. The road to hell is paved with what? Good intentions. You intended to do good, but you're still holding on to something that's going to take you up out of here. We all, I intended, yesterday I intended to do a good deed. Can I tell on me? Can I tell on me? You ain't got to worry about that. I'm telling on me anyway. I step on my own foot. I intended to do something good yesterday, but I chose to laugh. I got to give an account for that. See, I ain't going to get up here and just be spewing nothing out without telling on me. Because if I tell on me, who else going to tell on me? You can't tell on me, then. And I'm still trying to open up my closet, because I'm telling you right now, you open up my closet, raiders might fly out of there. And what's in there? But I'd rather tell them, because I'd rather be transparent in this thing, because I don't like getting up here and just be talking to somebody like, I ain't got nothing going on. I'd rather be transparent and know who, I got some stuff I need to take my hands off too. I know this. I need to take it off. But the Bible says in 2 Timothy 2:21, that book, a man shall purge himself. Everybody thinks when you read that scripture also, put it all down and walk away. The Bible said purge. If you get the devil of the word purge, that means you're moving away from it. Every now and then you're gonna bump your head. But don't stay with your head stuck there. Keep moving away from it. When you're trying to purge yourself with something, that means you're trying to get it out of your extremities. It's got to be gone. But now, if you do bump your head, don't call it off. We'll call it, if you fall, just don't stay there, get up. That's the purging thing. Oh Lord, I messed up today. No, he's gonna tell you, be forgiven. Well, the accuser. Well, I accuse you now too. Move on. Let's go. Let's do this. 2 Timothy 2:21. What it mean to you to family? 2 Timothy 2:21. That's what a man refers himself.
The things that, I'm holding on to, let them go, forget them, put them behind me and move forward.
Sister Kim, what it mean to you?
Well, okay, for example, like for myself, I used to run to the altar all the time. Back to school when I was in church. I used to always, but my son got that 2 licenses, 25 minutes. I mean, I lost weight. I was just stressed. I used to go to work. At work, I almost lost my job. I had been on my job like 9 years. And I used to be on the floor just crying, I mean, it was like I was just ready to just die, but anyway, I go to church, I can run to the altar, and they'll pray for me. And then I continue, when people pray for you, it's gonna be all right, this and that, it's fine, everything gonna be all right, just trust God. But when somebody think you trust God, I had to learn, they can tell you all they trust God, well, you gotta trust God for yourself. So I kept running to the altar. At first I was blaming all the people, I ain't going to church, they praying for me and I trust God, and I still feel the same way. I was still drained, I was still doing this, But then I had to come, one day I was in my house, I just was praying to God. And I had to just realize, it's about me. I gotta do this for myself. I gotta let go and let God for real. When people say trust God and I continue to, cry and weep and stress. I had a stroke and everything. Yes, I was stressed out about my son. And so I had to come to a place where, I surrender.
Something you just said then, and I heard her say around church too, let go and let God. Let God what?
Let God do in you what needs to be done. Because that was for me. You gotta let God, God is with it anyway. It's us. We gotta let go.
I don't know why God. To let go and let God. True, we gotta let go. But do you know God has already done it?
Yeah.
He already done it. It's just up to us to walk in it. You know what I'm saying? That's just like I go in there and bake a cake. The cake is baked. It's up to you to go there and eat. I don't need to let go and let God. God don't want to. I already did it. Just go get it. It's there. But us being children of God, we got to take our hands off a lot of stuff that's taking us out. We got good intention to do a lot of things, but we're still holding the bad stuff that's killing us. Like I said, I raised my hand again. I'm gonna get all the wrong. Great. I'm gonna just tell you what keeps Johnson me. We hold on to a lot of stuff that's taking us out of here. And the smallest thing that you think don't nobody notice, people act crazy. People act crazy. In the street, we say gang recognize what? Okay. In the church, spirit recognize spirit. Ain't nothing changed. You just change playing field. If we got good intentions of coming here and serving God. But when the man of God get up here and tell us what thus says the Lord, what we got to do things, half the time we don't want to do all that. God said, I give you pastors, and after my what? On who? So if God telling them to tell us this, what you mean he don't take that? He don't know what he's talking about. Well, I guess he do. God got him up here for a reason. We got him here for a reason. We can't see the forest for the trees sometimes.
I think it goes back again to relationship. We don't understand what it is. For instance, when was this, Kim? Wednesday night Bible study. Right, we see Wednesday night Bible study. And we talk about, I'm gonna show you about relationship now. Now, I want something from God, but what I give God depending on how I feel, how I am. Say for instance, now, relationship means what? What is a relationship? We still don't know what a relationship is because relationships have defined roles.
Yep.
So if I knew what the relationship was, I knew what the role was. So when we get hit, it's because of my lack of relationship allows me to feel the blunt of the hit instead of the big picture, which God will get glory.
Right.
But the relationship has to be one that not only do I trust God, but I'm walking what I say I trust in. And therein lies the difference, because my question would be, if I was supposed to do something, paving a road to hell, if I was supposed to do something and I just didn't do it, am I being disobedient or am I being lazy?
If you're supposed to do something, just don't do it.
Right.
Can we have all of the above?
No, but there's only one.
Yeah.
May cover others, but there's only one. And part of it, yeah. Because now watch. You the teacher today, right? And when we talk, what we supposed to do when we talk back to you? Who stands in this room besides the pastor of the church? I tell you, and see, my thing is, and I'm talking about me, that's not them. Guys, we take shortcuts every chance we get when it comes to God, but we don't want God to take no shortcut when it comes to us. And I'm learning, if I do the, he said, be faithful over what? Right now. So now, if I just do the little stuff of a few things, he'll make me rule over what? So I gotta stop looking for, because my flesh get lazy, my mind sit down. Because when we were in Wilburn, Florida, God said, there's no way you can praise me sitting down. There's no way. There's no way you can worship me sitting down. Well, we sit on God and we think, well, I just ain't feel like getting up. That's the relationship issue. Because the Bible said he gave his only what?
The God.
So he gave everything he had. We get what we want when we feel like we should give it.
Relationship.
I apologize. You just talked away. So you just got on his wheels about that, and I really apologize for that.
To see you get everything, you got to do everything. And we still don't understand this relationship. We tend to always want, but what do we give? And my belief is, as I look back now, guys, because of my giving, not just finances, but myself, I've seen my life improve greatly, especially my flesh now, where it is under subjection, where I had no authority. But if I don't apply the word in little things, I ain't gonna never be able to do it in the big thing. And so that's why so many roads are paved with what? Because I intended to do that. But my intent has no bearing on the word or commitment to God. And see, people say, well, I've been in a committed relationship. My question is, can you fall out of love?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, can you fall out of love?
Yeah.
A lot of people say, I said no.
Okay, let the yes say, then let the no say. If you can't teach, you said yes. Please explain to me as you rise without my crayon break.
Oh, shoot. Well, I did say, yeah, but then I take that back. Because in your feelings, you feel like that.
Right.
And then, but deep down inside, you don't. Because you're right, you don't. Because I look back all the time, even at me and my kids' dad, I say the stuff he did, I hate that, but I still love him, and I still do have love for him. Every day now that we be talking, I see it. So, yeah, you're right.
So Kim had something to say.
Oh.
Kimberly.
Sister Kim said you can fall out now.
Kimberly.
I'm saying, yeah.
Jump up, bitch. Yeah.
Yes.
Explain it to us then.
Well, okay, it might be fair. I don't know. But it's like people they can do you so bad. I mean, and when you think about Christ, all we done, goes like that. All we do, he still love us. Yeah, that's true. But I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, baby, I'm still in the flesh. So I'm just being real about it. But my husband, I've done with him. I ain't no love that nowhere. So yes, I feel like So if I'm flesh, you gonna pitch me. I'm just very real. I think you should. Cause I feel like all the love for him is gone when it comes to me. So yes, that's why I'm gonna stick with yes for right now. So maybe you probably didn't get on me, but I'm just being real.
You just say something?
I was gonna say something to her. That's my auntie, and I like personally, and her, and him, and I just feel like it's his ways you don't like. You don't love, of course, the stuff he do, you don't love that, you don't like it. But him as a person, because you even told me yourself that he a good person, he got good ways, and I know he is. The stuff that other people don't see. You said we'll come to your house and never see certain stuff. I never seen that side. If they was arguing, when we come around, I never saw that. But the stuff he do, I know it hurt her, so she don't like that about him. So I think that's the stuff that she hate, and she haven't got past that yet. So she, I just wanted to say that.
There was a song I say, it's a thin line.
Yeah, between love. Hey, I just watched that movie.
Thin line. But the hate ain't so much hate. It's that you love that person so much.
Yeah.
Still, it just bothers you. I got baby mamas. I love them all. I used to say I can't stand y'all. But I had to come around. I said I can't say that because we got a relationship. We got a child. So we're gonna have to come together for those children. So I had to learn to get a relationship better. And God let me know, how can you say you love me and you don't love them? I had to think about that thing. I said, God, you right, I love them.
I'm not saying I don't love him, but I'm not in love.
Okay, this is different.
Well, I thought you were saying can you fall out of love with somebody? I mean, I don't love him in that way. Because I always, love him.
Do you love everybody?
Yeah, I do. I love
So
everybody.
if you love everybody, that love concludes to him too.
I love him, but I'm not in love like in that kind of way. I'm sorry that back. But for me and him though. But I do love him. Because she right. I mean, he's a good man. He always provided, just everything. He's good. It's just, there's a problem here. And the things he'll done to me, I don't love that, but I do. Yeah, I love him, but I'm not in love. I'm gonna say that.
Ain't you so glad that God is not man? Oh! Ain't you so glad God is not man?
Go right into that list.
You know that day I came in here and said you gotta start balling and start weeding. Sometimes you be talking.
Go right into that one.
I think you always be in love with someone because God said we have to copy love. No matter what they do to us or how we do to them, we always should love. Love covers a multitude of faults. So the love will always be there. Whether we're with them or without them, we always gonna love them. In order for us to make it in, we gotta have love. We gotta have love. The Bible says, God said, the word said. So that's my feeling of love.
John Ross on the song, what's the word? Deep down, love, oh love. Well now, I'm gonna ask this question. Who doesn't know the true meaning of love? Should I back up? The true meaning of love.
I remember they say they like unconditional.
I'll just say what you
It's
listen.
unconditional.
It's unconditional. You see, the type of love you talking about had conditions on it. Negro, you did this, so had conditions on it. So we got to know what love we're dealing with because if just because you did that right now, no, I'm just in my feelings. I still love you, but I'm in my feelings. See, you in your feelings right now. I'm just in my feelings. And I like you because you straight up, you hit around here. Lord, I promise I'm in my flesh. You got to deal with it. I like that. If you can't tell the truth in church, what can you tell? What can you tell? And this is where you come to tell the truth. You got something going on, tell. I ain't telling you come here and tell everybody your stuff. Everybody's got your best intentions at heart. Everybody knows. That's why when you're talking about you got to build relationships and know who you can deal with. I'm not gonna go tell the busybody in the church what's going on with me. And no sooner I hit the doggone parking lot out there. Your wife made you sleep on the couch man night. You know what I'm saying? Who raised their hand? Somebody read that.
I did, cause I just want to say, we was talking about relationships. We've been here for what, 2 months? And I built a relationship with you. And I just wanted to say that I really genuinely love you as a person and a leader. Because not downing nobody or nothing, but the last church I was in, like you just said, God gave us pastors, but my pastor, he was, writing text messages and stuff and trying to, do other stuff. And he a pastor, he a leader in the church. But I'm a strong person. And I stopped going to the church, not just because of that, but you got other girls who might not be as strong as me, who he probably, really ran away from the church and judged God, and that's people like that. Mm-hmm. So I told him, like, you shouldn't do that because somebody else that wasn't as strong as me probably, would turn away from God if they was really trying to, walk right. Right. And I was too. But I just wanted to say that because when I came here, I could have said, no, I'm not going to go to church because he might be the same way. Mm-hmm. But you not, and you genuinely is a good person at heart, not just pastor wise, I just wanted to say that. Thank you.
Anybody else? Relationships. We got good intentions to have good relationships, but what do we do with them? I mean, everybody in the church should have a relationship that we can sit down and talk. Got good intentions, but we don't do it.
I think one of the things, though, is that we don't work on the relationship. We have accepted it the way it is. And when I say work on it, my relationship with Kim is not predicated on what Kim do or what Tanisha does. My relationship is predicated on what I do. And how we improve the relationship is that we got to work at it. Now, but what happens is if I come, you as my brother working a relationship, you turn away, then I turn away. Now that ain't working on a relationship. Then I still must pursue the things that I can do concerning you and not be concerned about what you do. And a relationship is one. So I said that we need to define what one is. Until we define what one is, we're never going to know what the roles are. And I think that's where we fail. We don't know the roles of the relationship. And that's what causes us to fail.
Anybody else? The roles of relationships. Yeah, I'm just getting to know Kim. And what's your name again, baby?
Tanisha.
Tanisha, that's right. I ain't want to miss for nothing. I ain't got no teeth in my mouth. Stuff all like crazy. Stuff all like crazy.
It's okay.
But I'm starting every time I see y'all, I speak, I talk. It'll get better. I'm just getting back, you know what I'm saying? It'll get better. These two, I know right here, you know. But we gonna get better. We gonna get better. Y'all remind me of some cousins of mine. I'm telling you, especially when you cook some big deal and them stuff on there's something to me. Our relationship gets better. Something like that. But getting back to what the lesson at hand, be intentional. After talking to him, what are your intentions now? If you got good intentions, what are your intentions? What are your intentions about your intentions? Now, yeah, we know your good intentions will fall by the wayside and lead you straight to hate. So, what are your intentions about your intentions? Does that make sense? Does it make sense? You got to know enough to know. If you're gonna stand up here and say, greater he that is in me than he that is in the world, and we always bumping our head doing the same thing. When I intended to do this, I had good intentions to be over him, but I ended up over him. You gotta be careful how we sit down and talk about greater he that is in me, because he was probably trying to tell you to go this way. But you still fell over him because you still got some of you. Does that make sense? You overrode he. Because you didn't let he do what he needed to do in your life. So now your good intention is and I got the wonder now. So what do you intend to do about your good intentions now? Ask yourself that question. First of all, me, I got to work on me. See, I'm gonna stop saying a lot of people say, well, God is working on me. He told me to work out my own salvation. He told me to encourage myself. He told me to do all these things right now. And the first thing we said, God is working on me. God has done what he gonna do. He sent his son to die for you. He did all this right now. He got everything in place. Now it's time for us to work. But can I say this? Y'all can say it. We lazy. We lazy. We don't want to work. We don't want to work. If you want to work at having a better life, you're gonna have to. If you want a better life, you're gonna have to put in the work. We're gonna have to put in the work. Sometimes putting in work is cutting off people that we shouldn't be around no more. My cousin called me antisocial one time. I told him I go close down. No, I'm just anti-ego. I ain't trying to go down that same road that I was going down 10, 15 years ago. And if you still doing the same thing, why am I hanging around you? It said birds of a feather do what? Flock together. So if I'm still around you, that means that message still in me. I mean, sometimes you gotta cut kin folks off. No, everybody, no, you gonna have to cut them off. If they ain't me, Steve Harvey said some one time, made a lot of sense to me. If I'm pushing a wagon up the hill, I don't need you sitting on the wagon. I need you to help me push it up the hill. You got too many people sitting on the wagon while we're trying to get it up the hill. Let our good intentions be just that. Do it. Stop letting everything else because we let the relationship, bad relationships, mess us up. We let us mess it up. Come on, y'all. You break your hand up.
Oh, I'm thinking, yes.
Go ahead.
I was thinking, a lot of times, we don't want to work because it's gonna cost us. And when it begins to cost us, that causing us to push back because we still got us in us, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then, I'm looking back at me. One thing I used to do when I was in the world, I would be going straight. And I declare by Almighty that the car took itself where it went. I just had to be. And what you say, if we can't tell the truth here, what can we tell? And a lot of times, I'll take my ex-husband for example. When you say that name, I want to kill him. I don't know nothing. I would pray bad things going on that God wouldn't hear because I wasn't where I am now. But now I can talk to him, I can sit to a table with him, I can pray for him and all of this because when the Lord comes in your life, it makes a change. You can't keep saying I'm working. And even though I know that God has already did everything that he's going to do, it's up to me to follow through. Sometimes we get lazy and we sit down because it's going to cost us. Sometimes it's going to cost you friendship, families, money, or whatever. But if you're doing it for the Lord, it doesn't matter because God is going to replenish that you've given out.
This is what we're trying to do. We're trying to get a little piece of something. I'm gonna use that monkey scenario. They say they put the banana in the bottom. And the monkey reached in there and grabbed the banana when he balled his fist over when he tried to get his hand out. He ain't coming out. But all you had to do was let go of the banana. And he could have gotten free of the bottom. I look at it like this right here. God got all these blessings here right here for you. You seen just a little something you trying to hold on to. You got your hand in that ball, you got it balled up. Now you can't get all those blessings because you're gonna let this mess go. You're gonna let the mess go. And I'm gonna raise my hand. Me too. Let me be transparent. Me too. We said we got our hand in this bottle so doggone try to hold on to this mess. We can't get to the mess. We can't get to nothing. God got it because we want to hold on to it. All I'm saying is, Mom, is let it go. Put your hand about it. Let it go. And don't put your hand back in it no more. Me too. Go ahead.
I leave with stuff for you. Close our Sunday school. It's this. We define every situation we in except relationships. If I go on the job, I want to know what the job entails because I need to know what I can and can't do. If my friend come on, with me and my friend, we cool, but I need to know what kind of friends we're gonna be. But when we go into a relationship, we don't never know the roles. So when I lose a situation, I expected Ty to do certain things, but we never define the relationship. And the problem is today that in situations we won't define because we're afraid to define what my role is and what his role is. And you say take a man, take a woman. We assume we know the roles, but we don't. So if we're ever going to improve the relationship, I first must define the type of relationship that I'm in.
Y'all get it? Now, did anybody get anything out of this? Y'all ain't pulling my leg. Y'all show. I saw to get like Bertie Mac back in on paper. What do y'all
It was, the word was awesome. Thank God for you. Thank God that, as you teach the word, we learn more about relationships, more about the word of God. Thank you.
I enjoyed,
So the press is handled.
I enjoyed the message this morning because it's kind of self-inventory. Because like you say, our intentions can take us to hell. We are intended to do the right thing, but because I causing us to fall back.
Kimberly.
I ain't gonna say, yes, I enjoyed it. I just want y'all to just really continue to pray for me because reading, I hate reading. I just hate reading, especially when I read, don't understand. And I keep saying get a dictionary or whatever. And I've been reading lately, writing down stuff that helped me too. And then look up words. Just person I'm telling. Because I'm really trying, and I have the NIV. This right here now. I have two. I have the regular one at the house.
You got the New English translation.
Y'all listen to this. I'm really. I've been in my word and stuff really. I'm telling you, I just you gotta want it. You gotta just want it for yourself.
Right.
And I'm at that place, but then I get sidetracked when I start reading and then get frustrated. So just keep in prayer, but I really enjoyed this. It really helped me.
So it's Tanisha.
I did get something out of it. And I thank you for teaching it. And Miss Princess and Kim and saying everything I said that we have to get to. Amen.
So, Brother Ty, what's going on, man? How y'all doing? How y'all doing right? Look careful back there. How your mom doing? Okay. Well, that concludes this morning's Sunday school. Can everybody please stand? Father God, in the name of Jesus, Lord, after the word was forth this morning, God, let it penetrate our heart, Lord, that we come to Lord. Now, let our intentions be just, let our good intentions go forth in our life, Lord, that we can put away the bad stuff so we can move closer to you. Father God, I ask you to bless the service of second service on the day, God, the man of God, bring the word forth, Lord. Let that penetrate and saturate our heart, Lord, that we also may do your will. In the name of God, Jesus, I pray. Amen. I'm good, man. How about you?
It's true.
How y'all doing?
Hey, looking like new money ain't coming.
Excuse me. I'll be right back. Mama, you just want me to read out what it is.
What happened?
Something about it.
You know, at this time, we're gonna meet and greet. Amen. Thank you, Jesus. Meet and greet each other.
What's wrong, little mom? What's wrong? You mad? Okay.
Come on, give me some love. I want your friend. Have some love. She's sleeping. You sleep. Go sleep.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Father. Thank you for your presence in the building, God. And Father God, we praise you. Thank you, Lord. Everybody's standing in the presence of the Lord. Thank you, Lord. Everybody's resting on their feet. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Father God, we thank you this morning, God, for who you are to us, God. And Lord, we thank you this morning because you kept us all night long, God. Lord, we say thank you, God. You didn't let any hurt, harm, or danger come upon us, Lord. And Father, we say thank you this morning. We thank you, God. We thank you, God. Lord, we thank you, Lord. You said if we would call upon you, you would answer, God. You would show us great and mighty things that we know not. We say have your way in our lives, God. As we humble before you, God. Lord, do a new thing. Do a new thing, God. 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 God, we hunger and we thirst after you, God. Because we need you, God. We need you, God. Lord, you said that if we would acknowledge you in all our ways, God, you would direct our path, God. And Father, we need you today because we're hungry, God. We're thirsty, God. Lord, we say thank you. Lord, we thank you for a fresh anointing, God. And Father God, as we go into our next service, God, we stand and we come with expectation, God. And Father God, we thank you, God, as the man of God delivered the word that you give him fresh on, God. Lord, give us a receiving heart, God, that we may be able to receive it and apply it to our life, God.
God, we say thank you today,
Thank you,
God.
Lord.
We say thank you today,
Thank you,
God.
Lord.
Lord, you said we have not because we're not asked, God.
Yes.
Lord, we knock, Lord, we seek in this morning, God. We ask you to open doors that no man can close, God. Close doors that no man can open, God. Lord, we say thank you, God. And Father God, as you fill this house, God, you add daily, God. Lord, we say thank you, God. And Father God, we lift up the leadership in this house, God. As you direct our pathway, God. As you strengthen us, God. Lord, we say thank you this morning, God. We say thank you, God. We thank you for relationship, God. We thank you for connection, God. Lord, we say praise you today, God, because you're so worthy, God. You're worthy, God. And Father God, as the man of God come forth, God, we give you glory, God. We give you glory, God, in all things, God. God, we say thank you, God. We say thank you, God. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Yea, God, to your word, God. Hallelujah, God. Oh, bless us, God. Breathe a fresh anointing, God, as we wait on your word, God. Yes, that the man of God come forth. Lord, amen and amen. Thank you, God. Hallelujah.
Come on, put your hands together for the Lord. Come on, put your hands together for God. Hallelujah. Come on, together and say, David, this day is our day. Come on, you may be sitting in the presence of the Lord. If you do it here. There are a lot of people out today. But we thank the Lord just the same. Amen. And then got some time, we got some medicine, we got some other time. Amen. Amen. We're going to remove the children now. The teachers will take the children. How do you know that it's important that we also, that we learn about the Lord, that they learn about the Lord as well? Amen. Okay, they asked me one day, teacher husband asked me one day, said, well, how is it that your children can go to hell and you can go to heaven? I said, what do you mean? Because you say you don't bring them when they come to school, you know? Amen. So I started bringing the children to church. Amen. Now, how old are you, Sunshine? Oh, you stay right there, love. You must keep looking young then. Amen? I'll give you about 16. Amen. Thank you, Lord. Oh, I know that lady behind you, old. And you got to say that to her. Amen. Thank God. We don't wait everybody gets settled. Yeah, my wife is traveling. She should be back tomorrow. She's well. Check in this morning. Amen. Amen. And truly, first couple of days I was good, stressed out, having a good old time. By day 2.5, shoot, of course, you need to come home. Y'all know how we do doing it. I ain't just talking about me. I was good for a couple of days, but 2 days now. If it wasn't her mama said, you need to be in home. You need to come home. I need you at the house. Amen. But she wanted to take care of her mama, so it was a couple of times. He called. Anybody come home? Amen. Amen. So I'm thankful and again that my wife, you know, those who get to know my wife is wonderful. Thank God for her. Thank God truly for her in doing so. Glad my cameraman finally showed up. Amen. So we get stuff. So I need a good cameraman. You know one. He ain't my phone number. Amen. 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 Listen, when I come to church, I like to have fun. It's not traditional. We don't do it. I don't do programs. I don't do all the stuff everybody does. I do what God say do. And then we go home. Amen. Ain't nobody gonna be running around, jumping on the floor, passing out. They do. God bless them. Amen. But I have a message I want to give this morning, and I want to teach it. I don't want to preach this morning to those who have spent time with me. That'll be okay if I preach this morning. If I could teach this morning, I would be forever grateful. Amen? Amen. So the body of Christ. Now, here's the thing, guys. The body of Christ has to have the ability to respond. Because what I want to talk about this morning, and God was dealing with me 4 days this morning, is relationship. Everybody got quiet. That's that church mind. Somebody call it terminated. Come on, don't be quiet on me now. So Kim looking at me like, what you do about it? Let's talk about relationships. Morning, young brother. Let's talk about relationships. Because how many of you understand the relationship between you and God? Everybody crazy again. Is this crazy? Is this a crazy Sunday?
No.
Okay.
You may understand I may understand on my level, but I don't know, I don't have a full understanding
Amen.
of it.
Let's go to John. I want to walk through this morning. The book of John, St. John. I want to walk through it this morning. Because what's so important is that until we define, there's one right there for you. I knew you want to have one, so I put one in front row for you. Yeah, I know who I labor on. St. John, we're going to be in 3. I want to, chapter 3, man. We're going to be chapter 3. How many of you, see the Hollywood Orlando family, glad y'all back from big time Hollywood Orlando, Florida. Take a lot of money to go down there, hey? You know, when I used to go to Disney World, it was $15. That was for a family. Yeah. Yeah. You know how long ago I went to Disney World, you know. Listen, we park free. We no. Yeah. Actually about 78, man, 79. You right. Amen. Cool in the Gang was there. Y'all don't know about that. We ain't going there today. Listen, you don't come and have fun at church, you should go. I enjoy it. You know, I'm happy now my wife be right 4 days long. I'm excited. Starting not to go to work tomorrow. I got some bad trainees I got to train again tomorrow morning who can't drive. So they asked me on Friday when I show up, they call me at home. So I'm gonna have to show up. Y'all know I take money off in a minute. Yeah. I'll take money off in a minute, but this money I gotta be on payroll. Amen. And guys, listen. I need for you to communicate with me today. Because most of us don't understand relationship. But a lot of us are in what? Then we wonder why they don't work out. We wonder why we struggle. We wonder why there's an issue. Because we never define our roles in a relationship. And my thing is, my thing to you this morning, can you have a good relationship with God and a bad one with people?
No.
You should have. So let me see if I got this right. Me and God, we ace. That's my ace. But me and Ty can't get along. That should have something wrong with that? I see. So, we're going to get into this word because, guys, we're failing at the things we should have because we don't have the things we should have. Anybody understood that? I like that, young man. We're failing at the things we should have because we don't have the things we should have. So now, today, we're going to define our relationship. And I want to really teach this thing because we don't understand. At 19, there's no way you understand relationship. But watch this. Some of y'all at 34, 50 don't understand it. Because we get taught everything except what? Nobody, who's taught you how to have a relationship? Yet, we get in them. There's some relationships that God has ordained you to have, but y'all jack them up so bad, y'all don't even have them, but you should have them, because it would increase you, but because something happened. I don't want that. That ain't God. I want to show you something. Let's go to John 3:16. Let's go there first. Because I'm going to start there, but I'm going to go back, okay? I'm going to go back. Everybody ready? Amen?
Amen.
For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever should believe in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. Okay, now watch this. Watch this. Y'all ready? Don't answer this out loud. Don't answer this out loud. In your relationship, what have you given up? Now what? You'll say, I did this, I did that. You did that for you. When you give up something, it benefits somebody else. But what you give up benefited you. Because see, when God gave his only begotten son, who did it benefit? Us. So let's define the role right off the top. When you give up something, it's got to benefit somebody. That church wants to why? Because if we're going to do this God thing, we got to understand our role in God. And we don't understand our role in God. For instance, I ain't gonna pick on y'all because y'all maybe got in trouble sometimes. For instance, don't use me then, I ain't got no trouble. Don't use me. If I never go home to spend time with my wife, what kind of relationship are we gonna have? If I never have time for her, except when I need her, what kind of relationship are we gonna have? But then why y'all do that to God? Say it again. There it is. But what happens is, but now watch, but what happens is, if you're gonna let me now, if I'm in a relationship with you, you can't take nothing from me. Because watch what God did. He gave us what? Everybody in this room, they treated a baby. Come on, guys. All of us have treated God bad. All of us have. As well as we treated each other bad. But what is the role between you and God? What does God expect from you? What does God expect from you?
Right.
What?
Right.
That's a deep theological answer, but what does that mean? What does that mean? What is love, right? Well, what is love? And that's why I like your responses. That's why we can't define because we really don't know what love is.
I feel where you take being learn how to use like your hard headed you have to try to obey. Try.
How old is the baby? See this gentleman there? See this real nice gentleman. I like that bow tie. Yeah, what bow tie got for me? Got my walking suit. So, nice gentleman, right? Right now, without a choice, you got to die for him. Do it. Get your newborn baby. Get your newborn baby to your husband. Say, poo poo. I gotta go. I gotta go handle some godly business, and I won't be back. Now that little thing get a little tight right there, though. See, love is the one thing that we still haven't defined. Because you love me for the condition in which I treat you. See, if you treat me a certain way, that's how I'm gonna love you. But then look at the love of Christ. I ain't trying to get you all jumping around today. I want you to get this. But the Christ love, he gave his only one. How old is your young man? The youngest one. All right. See that young man right there behind you? That young man right there? I want you to die for him. Get your little man up now. Get to your wife. Say, poo poo. On the side. See, you look like that didn't even conversation. I ain't even gonna talk about that. But listen, we're talking about what? Relationship. Yeah? Sorrel, give me any one of them. Any one of them, you gotta give them up. Yeah? Give me a little man. You see what, well guys, here one on top. Give me one of them. Flip a coin, top. Give me one. But here, we're talking about somebody who did what? He only had. What did he do? He gave his only begotten. So now watch. If the relationship is not defined, then what kind of relationship do you have? So let's go somewhere today now. I want to go somewhere. If I understand right now, 19, Do you know what you love yet? You'll ask. Because guess what? Some of them here 50 something still don't know what they love. Because nobody defines two roles, relationship and love. And guys, we can preach and teach and we can run around here and flip chairs, jump around. And at the end, y'all say, well, that was a good service. Then what did you get from it? What did you leave here with today? You won't leave here with today to understand that you must now, okay, how long you been around to find the road so you'll understand in the direction of what you need to go. Because we want to take our old ways into a new situation and expect it to work. Why do we do that?
You don't want to give up on what
So then, I damage everything that I'm connected to, but I still want it to do what it's supposed to do. Okay, let's get into this word. I want you to think. I want to provoke a thought today that how can I improve my relationship with God? Because if my relationship with God is not in the place it should be, how's my relationship with people gonna be? So let's stay in the word. Look at, we're still in John 3. I'm gonna walk with you. And it says there was a man, a Pharisee named Nicodemus, ruler of the Jews. The same came to Jesus by night and said unto him, Rabbi, we know that thou art a teacher come from God, for no man can do these miracles. Whereas no man can do these miracles that thou doest, except God be with him. Jesus answered and said, Verily, verily, I say unto you, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God. Nicodemus said unto him, how can that man be born again when he's old? And can he enter into the second time into his mother's womb and be born? Jesus said, Very, very, I say unto you that except a man be born of water and of spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of God. Now I want to stop right there because I want to go somewhere this morning. If you in God relationship is not where it should be, what should you do? What should you do? How do you fix the relationship with God?
I'm gonna wait on that.
Say it again.
You just made a man.
Sunday school was about a good intention. Is a made up mind and good intentions the same thing? Okay, preacher, you finna say something.
you how can you make it better? People do what they want to do. They make away what they want to do. Time is the most expensive thing that you can give. So if you spend more time with God, reading His Word, devotion, praise and worship, that should incorporate a relationship on the rise and build. Because you said if you don't spend time, there is no relationship and communication. Prayers.
Why do I need to spend time in a relationship?
Because it builds.
Because what?
It builds.
Once
you learn that person learns you.
Yeah.
So if you spend time, you will know their attributes, you will know what tick them off, you will know what they like, you will know when you put a smile on their face. But if you never spend time, you never devote that segregated time to them, you won't know because you're not there. You're absent in the relationship.
So what if I'm just lazy? Don't answer that. Don't answer that. Because we're coming back there. What if I'm lazy? Let's go to Colossians 3:23. Guys, I don't want to bore you today. I want to teach you something. This morning, I was up praying, and God's really dealing with me about that. We need to go back to where? To the beginning, guys. How many of you have the ability to go back to the beginning of a relationship? Would you go back to the beginning of the relationship? Don't answer that. Okay. Don't answer that. You get in trouble now. Woo. Say it again, man. Say that one more time. No, just what you said. You got to change.
In my situation,
Right.
I would have to go back to the beginning to get right.
Wow. Does that make sense to anybody?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me why it makes sense, Sherelle. You shake that. I see you here shaking it. Ah. So if I don't ever go back to the beginning, and it's the same with Christ. How many of you need to go back to the beginning of the relationship? Because the relationship can only be one that two people can be involved in, you and him, because him and the son are one. But until we put ourselves in a mindful set that if I am not in my rightful place in a relationship, you know what I need to do? I need to go back where? Why do I need to go back to the beginning instead of fixing what's wrong? Come on, this teaching is wrong. I ain't preaching to you. Say it again. I'll give you a check for tomorrow. Because the past comes back. Because what I tend to do is fix here and go there instead of going back there. Because if I go back there, I can't erase it, but I can remove it. So my relationship with Christ, how many of them don't answer this, guys? This is my answer. Now, don't answer this one. Now I need to evaluate where I am in God. I asked somebody to do something for me. I always ask the men and the women, but ask the man to do something for me. I hope you brought his homework. Evaluate yourself as a man of God, as a father, and as a husband. Rate yourself as a mother, as a woman of God, and as a wife. Evaluate those relationships, and then evaluate you and God's relationship. You'll find where you're falling at those two areas because you're falling there. Are you still with me so far? Because if I cannot evaluate those three, see, you can earthly evaluate those, but spiritually, you won't have a problem. So now, if I'm going to prove something, Colossians 3:23, did we go to? Colossians, the book of Colossians 3:23. Are we there? I want you to read for me. Because here's the thing, though. We gloss over situations, and they'll continue to get what? Say it again, worse. But I want to show you today, if you will listen, I'm going to show you how to repair a relationship. From the what? Now, make no mistake that it said God so loved the world, he did what? If he gave his only begotten son, my question to you, what have you given in this relationship? Not the one you in on earth. What have you given to the one here? Because the one up here is not like this. It's divinity to earth. If this one is not in line, all these won't be fine. You can get by, but you won't get in. Oh, we got Colossians 3:23, sir? Come on, preacher.
The Message translation. Servants, do what you are told by your earthly masters, and don't just do the minimum that will get you by. Do your best. Work from the heart for your real master, for God. Confide that you'll get paid in full when you come into his inheritance. Keep in mind always that the ultimate master your servant is Christ. The servant who does some work will be held responsible. Being a follower of Jesus doesn't cover up bad work.
Now watch. It says this relationship that you have here eventually will show the relationship you have there. Somebody, if you catch it tomorrow, it'll be okay. You catch it tomorrow. What you just read is the relationship here, earthly. I can look at the attributes of it and tell that there's a spiritual. Are you still with me so far?
Yes, sir.
Because what's happening is that an example of my relationship with God must be the example of with my earthly relationship. So what's the? So which must I fix first, my earthly or my spiritual? My spiritual one. My spiritual one. Because some of us are lazy and really don't care about the earthly one. Watch this though. No, I'm gonna do that to the man. Give me 1 second. if you can evaluate when you first started with God, you were crazy about it. Just like you crazy about your poo-poo, your little poo-poo. You're crazy about it. When you started seeing your little chocolate drop, you thought that was Jesus himself, didn't you? We get all crazy about it. Can't live without. Lord help me. So, come on, I know some of y'all still may not be with me. Y'all looking crazy. Y'all know when you first see okay to go to Louisiana, you like lost your mind, man. Don't stop. She already thinks she had it. It was so, but hold on now. Hold on. Thinking now, we see Mr. Brooks, we thought he was Superman. And guys, she brought him in the church like this is the guy. My point is, at some point we felt like that about God. I know you were crazy about the little guy I met down here. And now, guys, don't answer this. Don't answer this, guys. God knows that. But now your feelings have changed because of the condition of which things have went. But that was not the parameters of the relationship, because the initial parameter of the relationship should have been unconditional. But we have conditions to how I feel about you now because of what you've done. That out again. Say out. Why not? But we never look back in the mirror and see the manner in which I've treated God. So, Lamar, someone mistreated you. And you didn't like that. You look in the mirror, you mistreated God, you think it's okay. Not saying you do, I'm just showing you. So, what's the difference between my God relationship and my earthly one? What is the difference? What's the difference?
Should be parallel. That should be parallel.
You don't need to theologian on us. Talk to us like we third graders.
It should be the same thing.
Should be the same thing. Well, why is not?
Also, the spiritual is not where it needs to be. If you're earthly,
Yeah.
How many of you went in a relationship and said, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do that? Huh? You went in there and you sat down and said, first day, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this.
Yeah, exactly.
So then you expect me to know that. So you said my pet peeves were, how did that work out? So now, now it was good for, how did it work for the other person? See, there you go. I know you mean it.
Technically, you don't talk about this.
That's what I'm talking about. Say that again, Sarah. Hold on. Let me say that again. Wow. You're not thinking about the other person, you're thinking about yourself. That's how relationships work. Begin. Then the first problem is you are so, say that word again, you are so.
Selfish.
So now, then what about God and you then?
So you selfish.
I like your facial expressions, they really help you. They really. You be like, wow. See, everybody got quiet. Because now we know how we do. Then we know how we do him. See, guys, I want you to go on again because I really want you to get this. That I treat you just like I would treat you. I treat you just like I treat God. Everybody got quiet. I learned that. I didn't start out that way. I learned that. That now, when I speak to you, I have to speak to you as God will speak to you because you're his son. And if I speak to you any different, then that's going to cause problems on me. Because we all go in a relationship with our own expectation of what I expect. You never really care about the other person's expectation because you want to make sure you get what you're supposed to have. Come on, guys. Say ouch. So then the relationship is in a position or in a place, but I never defined what I really wanted from you. But God has defined what he wants from. And we still don't. You had a question, sir? As you stand, you had a question.
Yes, I always thought it was, as we talked before, it was down in heaven, down on earth, you have to do what they're correct. That's spiritual, so you must have what you have.
So give me your point. I got you.
And I want the last thing to you.
First one say, the problem be, you say like in the earthly relationship, okay, we go in, like you say, when you first meet a person, oh, you be, okay, oh, you know.
Oh, good, you had everything.
And the reason be a lot of times because we go into a relationship, so it don't matter, you be so crazy with that person, whatever they want, whatever, you know, you down with it. And, but after a while, you wear yourself out, you're gonna tell that you're gonna start lagging in some places, you know. So I just say, shoot, I can't do it no more. You know, after a while, you know, you're gonna say, you're just gonna.
So that's how we do God.
Yeah. If you first get with God, you're gonna read that word, you're gonna be so excited, oh my God, you know, you read. After a while, you know, if you're not ready, you know, in that word, you know, after a while, you're gonna be throwing that Bible down. So that's why, you know, you lose that relationship. Because you know what I'm saying?
Oh, totally. Totally.
That's you know, that's how I compare it, you know.
Oh, no, you 100% because most of the time we can talk from experience now. Guys, the issue today is I need you to evaluate your God relationship. If it starts with God, it should end with and 2 Corinthians 5:17. 2 Corinthians 5:17. Why do we expect God? Get that from me. Why do we expect God to accept from us what we won't accept from others? We're in church mouse again. Some of them doing a good job down here because that mouse just keep running around here all quiet. Why, guys? Tell me, but then let me ask you a question. Why is it important to have a relationship with people?
Because we can, if we're Christ-like, we'll be able to bring them closer to God if we're Christ-like. And then not just that, you don't know what the testimony that you may go through, your testimony that you're going through, like with me, for instance, can help somebody else.
So I need to be already in to get somebody there.
Right. Yeah. The whole topic of this subject is that you have to be just in Christ-like. Because you can't do things like you said with our relationship earthly and you gotta get spiritually and earthly right. And that's what I had to experience. Like you said, going back to the young man being died for it. First, when you first asked me that a long time ago when I died for a person, I was like, no. But now I will because the relationship that I have for God since I surrendered my life back in October.
So let me see if I got it right.
Yeah.
Let me see if I got it right. Let me see if you got it right. Let me see if I got it right. This gentleman today, you got that newborn, she feeding. So you decided that you're going to, you know, you should look like you about to lose his mind. And we just doing a scenario. so you so you gonna hand the baby over. Because God says it's either him or you. You hand the baby over, you going? You gotta explain. I asked you one question. Without a question. How old is
5 weeks.
5 weeks old. And he's scratching his chin. Like, whoa.
But I have a reason.
Pretty deep, right?
Can I explain?
No. Yo, I ain't trying to stop what I'm saying. You said you'll do it, then we know there's no space in me.
Yeah, because my relationship, that's where it goes.
Listen. I just say your husband like you ready to. So now, how important is the relationship with God, kid?
Very important.
So, what's your name, honey? Kiara, you'll die for Kiara? Kiara, would you die for her?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't know.
Sherelle, would you die for this young lady? She ain't dead, your mom ain't over. Now, guys, I'm trying to show you how important your relationship must be. Die. You dying for old Daniel? You dying for old Daniel there? Hey, I like that. At least you don't do that. What about you, young Jude? Are you young man? You know, that's a long you. Okay. She ain't living no more. She ain't living no more. I'm glad you brought that scenario. And guys, you think that when he gave his only begotten, he gave all he had. Who you dying for? You gonna die for him? Y'all gonna die together?
That's right.
Well, you will know.
Sometimes the people that you think.
But let me tell you something.
Sure.
Here's the difference in death and life. Y'all didn't say that, but here's the difference in death and life. Even one who said gonna get challenged. One son said, I'll go. The other said, I ain't going. That's the one that went. But you got to get in a place in life, Sherelle, in Christ. Like, for instance, I met you maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Will I die for him?
Yes, you would.
See, but y'all so sure I would. So it don't matter, because, and I ain't gonna say that because you know I love you, dearly. I die for you. Why? Because what I understand about death, it is life.
Yeah.
My point to you is that I don't have any love conditionally. I don't have any love conditionally for you. That's the issue that we're talking about today. That means you understand relationship. If it's conditional, it's not a relationship. It's a dictatorship. Yeah, it's a dictatorship. Because when it becomes unconditional, I don't expect. Here's the thing that we talk about, guys. And I ain't gonna hold you long. Here's what we talk about. We confuse two things, truth and love, with relationship. Trust and love. Trust has nothing to do with a relationship. But with all of you in this room, trust has everything to do with your relationship. Can I keep going? Because I've been taught to love what I trust. Biblically, he said, trust me and love them. He never told you to trust one another. Simply told you to what? Love. But because I'm trying to trust you, you screw up. I don't love you. But God don't trust us. He loves us. And through his love there comes a multitude of what? Sin. That his love will be enough to do what? Put me in a position where I love you like he loved me. So now, let's define a relationship. As humans, we want to trust each other. But trust makes me doubt you, dislike you, get mad with you, sometimes hate you, be displeased with you. That's what trust does. But you were never biblically told. Somebody show it to me. He told you not to trust who? He told us not to trust me. Yet I still want to trust you. And that's not the relationship. So this morning I want to show you that you need to define the relationship has nothing to do with trust. With my wife, I trusted God in her. I never had to trust her. I had to trust the God in her. And what we got to come to a place now is that if I ain't got enough God in trust relationship, I will never be able to have an earthly one that's going to be working. We'll be all right. But how many of you want to perfect relationships? You want to perfect this thing. But until you understand what a relationship is, you can't perfect it. And it's so important It's so important that for y'all that I trust you. Come on. Come on, why do you always think you gotta trust the person? I gotta get a trust them first. Because trust destroys, guys, hear me well. Trust destroys relationships. I expected God to do this, he didn't do it. So now we're mad with who? We're mad with God. And God never told you he was going to do that. Never told you. Sister Kim, I use your, I heard you say when they gave your son that time, he was like, whoa. And all the God stuff went out the window. At that same test, I was standing there. And they told me, the judge called me up, talked to me, all nice, and turned around and sentenced my son to 10 years. Everything in me started to bubble. But I said, wherever you at, boy, I'm going to be there. And guess what? If I had to give you something today in a title, even now, even then, even then, either you're going to trust God and love a human like God does, even now, even then, and even there, he still was God. And them 10 years, gone. But I trusted it that he was going to keep that boy. And he did that. And the stuff my boy did, I loved him because I never held him accountable for his behavior. See, we hold people accountable for what? You shouldn't have did that. You shouldn't have said that. Relationships. 2 Corinthians 5:17. Who has it? 2 Corinthians 5:17. You have it? The Bible. You gotta have it in your Bible. 2 Corinthians. He uses that right there. Apparently, you don't need it. Yeah. Okay, yeah, you can use yours again. 2 Corinthians 5:17. Guys, I want you to hear me today. That you gotta do something in your heart to change the way you think about people. You gotta do something in your heart that if you look at mothers, can I talk to you mothers real quick? Your children can do anything in the world, you still don't want them. But your husband, see that? But your husband can act up. Go ahead and keep it to or at least to the couch. Men don't sleep on couches. I'm just telling y'all right now. I don't sleep on couches. You finna say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that. It helped me out a lot. I always say, it ain't gonna work out with me and my husband no more because I don't trust him. And I never trust him again. So that just helped me out a lot.
Good man with bad habits, kick to the curb. See him a year from now, looking like Michael Jackson moonwalking, and all that work you can put in. I ain't telling you to go back. I'm still telling you, don't let it be about trust.
I just want to say, really, that makes sense too. It really helped me. I really appreciate that. So now I know that really, if you think about it, if you love somebody, just really truly love them, all that ain't gonna matter nowhere. All the trust and all that, don't even, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna even care. You know about, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna worry about what they doing, all this. If you really, really love them, the trust, you know, that's why. I mean, it just don't matter no more.
Turn them over to who?
God.
Turn them over to God. Because don't be confused now. I'm not telling you that you are going to be challenged in your marriage. That's not what I'm telling you. I'm telling you that you're going to be challenged in all relationships, whether you're married or not. The point that I'm talking about to you, but if your relationship with God is where it needs to be, then God will help you with that process. And he'll decide direction. We tend to see a process and automatically don't give God a chance to do anything about it because I already decided what I'm going to do. You got me? And be transparent. 10 years ago, I had some divorce papers in my briefcase. wife found it and ran to the preacher. And they called me. I get down there, the paper's on the table. Preacher crying, wife crying. My wife, she ran in and stepped on rattlesnake. And I'm standing there like, what? What y'all doing? Y'all talking about me? Why? I said, man, go and sign the paper. Whether you sign them or not. You know, the old church, you had to go be a pastor. Now people just do it anymore. The old church, you had to go see a pastor before you talk about the divorce. The point of making was, he was crying, wife was crying, and my wife, we said that man, we stupid. Did I say we stupid? We stupid. We just so mad with each other. We don't want to go. But how many of y'all know 10 years later that would have been the biggest mistake we ever made? Yeah, that would have been the biggest mistake we ever made, guys. Why? Because God didn't say that. We did. You understand the difference? So, but if you, this is just about marriage, I want to talk about the relationship with God. My relationship with God that I set aside and signed on papers. You know, I have my own plan. She found the papers, took it to the preacher. And the preacher asked me one question, y'all. Here's one question. Did God tell you to do this? I did just like this. I'm just looking at it. Because I already knew God didn't do it. And he told me why. He said, well, go and sign me. God told you that. Drop a little opinion. We looked at each other because we realized how stupid we just were acting. We were. But I ain't going to do that to you guys. But at 10 years ago, I didn't have the relationship I have today. Because once my relationship with God improved, my relationship with humans improved.
Amen.
It improves. So my statement, question to you is, what is your relationship with God about? So if it's good with God, it's going to be good with who?
Man.
That's the thing. It'll be good with me. What does that good mean? That don't mean you ain't going to dislike me.
Right.
That simply means I'm not going to dislike you.
Yeah.
You finna say something, preacher?
How you talking about trust, man, especially in marriage. In a marriage, when you say you want to kick you to the curb. In a marriage, my wife, can I use my wife for instance? I did a lot of stupid stuff in the beginning of my marriage.
That's an understatement.
But she would never talk me down. She would talk me up. You're a good man. You're a man of God. You just right. So when they say love covers a multitude, instead of her discrediting me, sometimes your husband do something like you this, you that, you ain't no good, you're that. But she talks me up. She showed the love. And from where I was then to where I am now, if you'd seen me then, you would think I'm the same person. That's my brother. He was saying what. but see, the love, when he said love, he said love, man. So she loved me to where I am now. It doesn't say she trusted me, but she loved me.
Unconditional.
Unconditional.
And guys, so your relationship with God has to be one unconditional. That's really where we want to go, because if your relationship with God can't be unconditional, because how many of us in this room have never done anything wrong with God? Ooh. Nobody got their hands up. So then why do we hold accountable people who've done something to us? Even love them? I love you. Now, listen, you done me wrong. I don't mean I don't love you. And that's a relationship, because I've learned this, guys. Man told me one time when he seen me, he said, man, I heard you got saved. And I said, yeah. He said, man, if God can save you, he can save anybody. Mm-hmm. I was terrible. Yeah, I said, that's my mother. Yeah. But how many of you have been terrible? How many have been terrible? That church was here. So my point to you is now, love don't have nothing to do with how you treat me. Love has everything to do with how I treat you. Now remember you something now. Because guess who God gonna deal with? You mistreat me, who gonna deal with you?
God.
The Bible teaches us that obedience is what corrects disobedience. But I ain't gotta take vengeance on you tomorrow. God will. And God can take far greater vengeance on anybody than you can. And guys, I ain't telling you this because it's some theological stuff. I've lived this. Do we have 2 Corinthians 5:17? Who got it?
Okay.
There you go.
Because of this decision, we do not evaluate people by what they have or how they look. We look at the Messiah that way once and got it all wrong, as we know. We certainly don't look at him in that way anymore. Now we look inside, and what we see is that anyone united with the Messiah gets a fresh start.
Anybody do what?
That is united with the Messiah gets a fresh start.
Now, hold on, stop right there. Somebody tell me what that means. Come on, man. Oh, Jesus. No. Why do we hold those things though? Say again? Because I got some on. Why does God have a grudge on us?
We'll be in bad shape.
We be in bad shape?
We'll be in bad shape. Thank God he ain't.
And guys, it takes one not to hold grudges. But who's harmed? When you hold a grudge, who actually gets harmed?
You heard you killing you.
You.
Oh,
You ever realize that most of the time, the people who did something, don't nobody business doing it to somebody else, I ain't studying.
sometimes dead and gone.
Sometimes.
Sometimes dead and gone. On the road.
God will hold whoever accountable. He said, when you did it to the least of them, you done it unto me. And I take that in stride, guys. And don't be surprised because I'm on a pulpit with a title that I don't get. My character is always being revealed on situations, circumstances. Don't think I want to hit somebody in the throat. But I already know. Listen, come on now. I don't do it, but I said it to myself. I just said it to myself. Then I laugh. But then we all challenge that if I punch you in your throat. But if you hit me with a preacher did this and a preacher did, come on, guys. God has no respect to what? Come on, read on, preacher.
Fresh start is created new.
And what?
It's given a fresh start and it's created new.
What is a fresh start?
Clean slate.
Clean slate, start back over.
Reset.
Read what?
Reset.
Start what?
Start over. New beginning.
That's the David thing. Let's take a moment. Let's have a moment of silence. But then we need to lower the flag at half mast. So some needs to die. Yeah. Come on, guys.
Isn't that why Paul said to the effect of die daily?
Die daily.
Die daily.
Well, if I die today, because tomorrow, see, here's what I realize. I'm only anointed for how many days?
Today?
1 day. That's the day, guys. So when the day over, tomorrow needs to be a fresh day.
Got his own set of problems.
Amen? Now, I did tell y'all this. Rewind, reset. After those divorce papers they fled, we went inside and had a fresh start. We talked about everything. Good, bad, and ugly. There's some yelling, some fussing, some hollering. But when it was over, I was able to see her as God seen her then. She was able to do the same for me. He said, just about marriage, I'm talking about relationships, period, guys. Come on, preacher, finish that. So
The old life is gone. A new life has begun. Look
the old what?
Old life is gone. And the new life has begun.
Now, hold on. You can't exhibit the same old bad behaviors, huh? Everybody got quiet again. We're going to start over, but if I no more bad habits, no more nasty behaviors, then you're going to let that go day one. Don't say, well, God forgave me. No. God is a repentance. People who ain't been forgiven. I need y'all to understand it. You can't go over until you actually truly ask for forgiveness and repent. Some of y'all, that's thinking about today. Right now, I'm thinking about a piece of baked chicken.
What you say?
Move on.
What you say?
Go ahead, read it. Go ahead.
Look at it. All this comes from God who settled the relationship between us and him.
He did what?
He He settled the relationship between us and them.
What did he do? He settled
The relationship.
the relationship between
Us.
So then why don't you settle your relationships? He said he settled the relationships between us and him. How many of y'all say you forgive a person, but when you see him again, well, your skin kind of get a little more.
Change the whole atmosphere.
There you go. Your skin get a little more though. Then what does that mean, guys?
You have to
Forgive,
forgive.
don't forget. It was only words.
You know the most ways, come here, let me show you something. I'm gonna show you something. And some of y'all want to help you with this. I ain't doing that crazy today. I'm gonna show you your hand. Turn this way. Face them. Put your hand up front. Okay, right here. Okay, hold your fist up. Okay, now I'm holding your fist, right? Take out the hand and lift my fingers up. Am I holding it tight? Okay, watch. Okay. And I'm still not gonna hold it tight. Okay, open it now. Move that hand. Open this hand. So you gotta fight to do it. Now close your hand. And I ain't fighting. Okay, now open your hand. How can something not attached to you hold you down? Put your hand again. Now she's free. When somebody do something, they're not all attached to you. Because when they're attached to you, then they should be able to hold you down. But now do your hand. I'm not attached. So guys, so what's not attached to you shouldn't be able to do what?
Oh, we done?
But I'm telling you now, I'm just telling you that we gotta get in a place. We gotta get in a place that I don't let it go. And I let God heal me while I let it go. I'm telling you about relationship with God is more important than anything in the world. But my relationship with God will dictate my relationship with who?
You.
Go ahead, preacher, let's finish that.
And then called us to settle our relationships with each other.
Well, that book didn't say that. You just read that because you like it. Your book actually says it'll cause us to do what? So what are we talking about today? We got much longer, people. We're talking about settling our relationships, guys. Matthew 6 and 9. There's going to be Matthew 6 and 9. We're getting ready to. Matthew 6 and 9. Hey, you need to handle that Bible up better. I know you ain't used to touching Bibles. I can see how you handle it now. Is it helping anyone today that we ain't preaching and running around and jumping? Because I need y'all to get this, guys. I need y'all to get this. All right? But I need y'all to get this because, guys, it's like going to work. And I heard about y'all when y'all went by Wednesday. You're going to work and nobody don't know what's supposed to be going on. That's how we're coming to Christ and we don't know what's going on. How pleasant was that day when y'all went by? You ever asked them, let me keep y'all there. They won't let me keep you. Then they have nothing faith. Guys, that's the thing we got to understand. If it's commotion and it's crazy, it's going to be commotion and crazy for you. Then they send them back to me on Monday. We could have got this done. Listen to me, guys. I look at life one way. If you don't plan, you plan to fail. But I need to plan to improve myself as a person. I need to be able to, when I come to you, you know, your daughter blessed me today. Genuine. I don't play no game with you. I'm going to tell you what I think. If you're right, I'm going to tell you what. And if you're wrong, I'm going to tell you wrong. That's how we should deal with each other. Not pet peeves. She related to it, so I know she kind of crazy. I can talk about it, but y'all better. But it's a good thing she did. You when they say, hey, this is what I expect. So when we get in a relationship, we need to know what we expect. What does God expect from us? Do anybody know? So then that's the struggle that you should have. But if you don't know, I can teach you. I can teach you because I had to learn it too. Who has a scripture? Tell you good? Go ahead, Dan. You finish it. Dan, you got it? Go ahead. Yes.
After this manner, therefore, pray ye, our Father which art in heaven.
Now watch. Where's the Father located? He in heaven. Okay, we agree? Everybody agree?
Mhm.
It's a new relationship. Can we agree together? Yes? Go ahead, son.
Hallowed be thy name.
Holy is his name. Come on.
Thy kingdom come.
Now wait, watch that right there. Watch that right there. That kingdom does what?
Come.
What does the kingdom come to? What does it come? What does it come to? Certainly. You must have similar. You need to eat the baby milk. What? Okay, read on. Kingdom don't come to the earth. See, guys, here's what I'm saying. Hold on. Here's what I want you to say. If you let me teach you, we should have dominion on earth and still talking about trying to wait to get to heaven. People are always talking about, well, rest in peace. No, I'm going to live in peace.
Right.
I ain't got to rest in peace. I'm going to live in peace on this earth because I can subdue it. I have authority on this earth. We so busy want to get out of here, we're not paying attention to what's down here. Because this is where our authority is. And until we take authority over situations, circumstances, and issues, you know, I always tell you that as long as you connected to me, you're going to win. Because I'm going to win. And when I win, you win. But hold on now. If I'm connected to you, you need to be winning too now. Winners must win together. On earth, go ahead, Richard.
Thy kingdom come.
Uh-huh.
Thy will be done.
Uh-huh.
In earth.
Uh-huh.
As it is in heaven.
Now, wait a minute. So what we waiting on now? What are we waiting on now? He said he fixed it between me and him so that I can fix it between me and you. Now the kingdom has come. So I got the same authority on earth as in where? See, we so busy trying to be heavenly, we ain't no earthly good. I need to take dominion on earth. In any and all situations. Come on, preacher, finish.
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us.
Now, hold on. No, don't worry about it. Give us what?
Today.
Wait a minute, guys.
Today.
What about yesterday?
No,
Don't worry about it.
How you treated me 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
What you said to me 5 days ago? Guys, let me show you something. And I'll tell you something. And I hope y'all get a chance to meet my wife. And y'all, those who have met my wife. What changed my life young preaching with my wife was when I screwed up, she showed me compassion. That changed my life. She showed me compassion, one. And I had jacked up when I screwed up, roaring, to the point where I screwed up, I'll be like church mouse. And she showed me compassion. She says to me, Ty, I screwed up. Now she says to me, well, what you want to do? Whoa. You me making a scene? I screwed this up? She said, what you want to do? She said, you want to stay or you want to go? I said, wow, I'm going to stay. Under what condition? Yeah, I have a condition. That when we're done with it, we're done with it. But I let her get through it. I walk with her, she healed. But when it was over, you ain't gonna put that back in her face. When she showed me compassion, then I finally realized who I had. I didn't know who I had with me. But that day, I knew who I had with me tomorrow. And when you show a person compassion, guess what happens? They humble down.
Yeah.
I humble myself.
So,
That's what compassion does. And I'm telling you that we got to get to a place where we have enough compassion that I understand you screwed this one up. But here's my promise to you. That's your one. Let's move forward. I don't care if it's 20. That's what she did. So, guys, when you talk about in earth, come on, read that.
And forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors.
Now, wait a minute now. Who's going to forgive our debts? Say it again.
God.
So not our Father, so our Father, He forgive us.
Don't forgive our debts. So now I need to forgive your debt. Can I talk to you sisters real quick? Since you're the youngest, why don't you do this? I forgive, and I ain't gonna forget, and you have not forgiven. And that's okay, that's what you want to do. That is fine. But once, I know it feels like to be forgiven. I do, guys. I do. And it's one of the greatest feelings you could ever have. So imagine if you forgive somebody, what it'll feel like. Amen. And not holding. I had a conversation the other day in my system. If I think you crazy, and I get mad with you because I think you're crazy, who crazy?
Yeah.
I had that conversation with somebody. Yeah, I tell you this. And if I already know you, I know what you're gonna do. Why am I mad with you? I already know what you're gonna do. I'm so mad with you, I don't know what to do. I'm so mad with you, I'm about ready to custody. Because you're so stupid, you this, you that. And I'm looking here, eyes bloodshot red, right? The gun, I'll shoot at you. But I'm saying you the one with the problem. Wow. I used to be that guy too. Why are you so mad at you? Because you're crazy. Yeah, guess what God dealt with me? Really? That's the crazy one, the one over there laughing at you? The one that's waving at you? The one that's going on down there and got a Slurpee now from 7-Eleven? That's the crazy one? You sitting there about to have a heart attack. I can't believe that. Reconcile with him so I can reconcile with you. Come on, finish this.
And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Come on, give God a hand. Can I talk to some of you theologians before I move out of the way? You all ready, theologians? Don't everybody go to the time, you just go to Galatians. Go to Galatians 4 and read until chapter 4. I'm going to show you something before we go. How many of you think you have the ability to get past this stuff? How many of you understand that some things you can't get past unless you got a teacher to teach you how to get past?
Amen.
Amen. But here's the thing though. We try to get by our.
Self.
You have it done? Start at verse 1.
Let me show you the implications of this. As long as there is an heir and a minor, he has no advantage over the slave. Though legally he owns the entire inheritance, he is a subject to the tutor and administrators until whatever date the father has set for emancipation.
Now, hold on for a second. Who sets the time?
God.
But he still gave Jesus. Guys, they're talking about Jesus right now. He gave Jesus governors and tutors. Now, hold on. If Jesus himself had to come to earth and learn how to do this, why you don't? We're a church mouse. So we're struggling because we're not allowing the help. Stay with me now. Don't lose you. Finish that preacher.
That is the way it is with us. When we are minors, we are just like slave ordered around by simple instructions. The tutors and administrators of this world with no say in the conduct of our own lives.
All right. Two things you gotta have. Close that. We're done. Two things you gotta have in order to. Two things you gotta have in order for you to settle with people and have settled with God. Two things you gotta have. The Bible says that God has settled with us, and we settled with people. What's the two things you gotta have?
Earthly and spiritual.
Love and forgiveness.
Yeah. Obedience.
All of those above. All of those above. All of those above. Here's one. Then you get your Bible and go to Proverbs 3 and 5. Guys, write this down. Write these two things down. The first one is a relationship with God. The first one is a relationship with God. You have 3 and 5, Danny? Come on, son. Read it for me, please.
Trust in the Lord.
Okay, now, hold on. Go slow for me. It reads to me like I'm a 2-year-old. Go ahead.
Trust in the Lord.
Now, you gotta be able to do what, guys?
Trust in God.
In God.
Did you say trust in us?
No.
Trust in the people? Trust in Boogie?
Nope.
Trust in Ray Ray? Trust in who? Guys, you gotta have trust in him. You don't trust him. We don't, preacher.
And lead not unto thy own understanding.
Now, how many of us lean that way? Only reason you lean that way because you don't what? You don't trust God, guys. He said, I trust God. Then why do you still try to fix it? Why do you still try to take care of it? Why do you still commentate? Why do you still da? You trust God, leave it alone. Run over to Jeremiah 3:15. That's our last scripture. Jeremiah, the weeping prophet. Bro, we buy something from Disney World. Bro, something. Don't be looking right at you now. She got me. I know my little partner, you bought me somebody. You bought me somebody from Disney World, Disneyland, girl.
What was that chapter first?
Jeremiah 3:15. Third chapter 15.
My partner got me something. What you bought me back? But a word back from Jesus at least, right? You got a word from him? Go ahead.
And I will give you pastors according to my heart,
Uh-huh.
which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding.
What does that mean?
Somebody who I ordained.
I know that part, but what does it mean?
It means that
Is that the same as a governor and a tutor?
No.
You sure? A governor and tutor is just somebody who's going to teach and educate you, right?
Right.
That's what a pastor's going to do, to teach and educate you. But you got to have trust in God and you got to have a pastor. Those are the two things you got to do.
right. When I was thinking about it, I was thinking about the president we got now. But even in his buffoonery, you talk something.
Yeah.
Don't do that again.
You know, you talk something.
Not only that, but he has governors and tutors. He just refused to listen to them.
Yeah.
Amen. Come on, give God a hand. I'm done. Now, I want you to look at your earthly, your spiritual relationship. I want you to look at your spiritual relationship so that you can improve with God. Amen. What we're getting ready to do now. Is anybody desire prayer today? Desire prayer for anything? Come on, do it.
I just want to say, I really, I really appreciate, you know, the way
They gonna come out.
your teaching, I mean, it's really, really helped me. Because, when you first, when you talked about going, you know, forgive my husband. And today really, you know, we went further today, I learned more because even I asked him to, you know, forgive me. And then I told you, he said, well, I mean, you didn't do anything while you asking me. He was telling me I didn't do anything to him. In the back of my mind, really, you know, I'm thinking, well, I really did, you know. But and today I realized that really I did do something to him. So I'm glad you asked me to forgive him because I really did do something because I didn't trust him at all. I didn't trust him at all. You know, because he, you know, he used to take me, steal from me. You know, I didn't trust him. My purse, different things, you know, like he was taking. And I accused him of some things, a lot of things, and sometimes the things I accused him of, I went back some of them because I lost that trust in him. Some things I went back and found later. You know, so I just thank you for teaching because I didn't trust him. So I just thank you for that.
So we take a doctrine real quick. Come on, give God a hand again. We want to thank you. We want to give our guests an opportunity to say anything. Young blood, would you like to say anything at all? You may stand and tell us about your family and introduce you. To this lovely group that you're traveling with today. Yes.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
This is Sage Hinton, my son. This is Stephen Hinton Jr. This is my cousin.
Amen.
Everyone, you like to have anything? Glad y'all stopped by. Hope to see you again. Now, as we prepare, you continue with offering our prayer.
Everybody please stand, please. Can we all stand, please, for the blessing of the offering and the benediction, please? Father God, in the name of Jesus, Lord, we come before you in prayer, Lord. Thank you for what we have heard on today, Lord, that we may apply our lives to it, Lord, that we may live full lives for you, God. Father, as you bless this offering right now, for the upbuilding of the kingdom, Lord. Lord, bless you tenfold. And after you part today, Lord, we ask you to travel in person, Lord. And Lord, let when we leave here today, Lord, let somebody look on us, Lord, and say, I want to be just like those people. In the name of Jesus, I pray. Amen. There you go.
You are. Yeah, you are.